Hello, I'm Taya. Have you ever felt out of your depth sometimes at work, or you're sitting amongst your colleagues and you feel like you're just lucky to be there because their brilliance is way beyond yours and everything you've achieved might have just been a fluke? Well, this is known as imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome, also called perceived fraudulence, is the belief in an individual's mind that their achievement, their success, is simply by luck and that they are not as competent as they think or believe they are. And this, of course, is a big challenge. And this applies to many people in spite of their education level, their experience, and their accomplishment. In fact, research shows that up to 9 to 82%, depending on which research you look at, of the population or people have imposter syndrome. And of course, this is a big challenge because imposter syndrome can lead to a lot of issues, including self doubt, anxiety, stress, and of course, missed opportunities. Because that individual feels they're not good enough, in spite of the fact that they might actually be, ultimately. So, imposter syndrome is the result of many factors, and you cannot always pinpoint. But some of the factors suggested include personality traits. And personality traits such as people who are perfectionists, they might have a tendency to have imposter syndrome because they want to make sure everything is perfect. And that, of course, we know is not possible. It can also be influenced by social context and, of course, things such as family background. If you come from a family where achievement is valued above everything else, you might have imposter syndrome because you might feel you are never good enough. Of course, according to Valerie Young, she has categorized the different subgroups. Of course, we have the perfectionist, the person who feels everything has to be perfect. If it's not perfect, then they feel they're not good enough, and that already is a problem. We have the superwoman or the superman who feel they can do all things, and simply if they cannot achieve everything which is beyond human capability, they feel they're not good enough. And then, of course, we have the natural genius, the person who feels they are born gifted, intelligent, brilliant. And anytime they come across a situation where maybe people are more brilliant or challenge their brilliance, then they feel they are not good enough. Then, of course, we have the soloist, the person who has to do it all, everything by themselves. And that, again, can be a big challenge. And, of course, the expert, I'm supposed to know. And if I don't know, then it means I am not good enough. But nobody knows everything, even if you're an expert in that area. Cox suggests that imposter syndrome can be managed, first and foremost, by knowing the signs. Because every now and then you might find yourself at work and then suddenly you start having that feeling or you start having that attack that I am not good enough, I will not be able to do it, I can't manage. Identify it so that you can actually take control of it and try to convince yourself, no, I can't do it. Then, of course, the second, know that you're not alone. As research has pointed out, up to 82% of people have imposter syndrome at one point or another, or at one level or another. Number three, distinguish between humility and fear. And that's why sometimes understand when you're afraid, and can be a result of imposter syndrome, and understand humility. And humility is good, but fear due to imposter syndrome, of course, you don't want. And that can be a problem. Number four, let go of your inner perfectionist. Always know that you cannot do it perfectly. Always know that you don't know everything. Always know that you're human and everybody makes mistakes. Of course, the next one, be kind to yourself. Don't be too harsh. Even if you mess up, it happens. You're human. Then, of course, number six, track and measure your success. A good way to at least reaffirm to yourself that you're able is look at your success, what you've achieved so far. And you might find that you've achieved more than many other people who even are arrogant and overconfident. So do that. Number seven, talk about your imposter syndrome with your family, with your friends, with your mentor, with your manager or your supervisor. They can help you, they can advise you, they can share their own experience, which can give you confidence. And yes, always try to take up new opportunities. Yes, every time that when you have imposter syndrome, there might be that fear. I'm not good enough, but do it. Just take it on and try and make the most of it. You might find that you're even better than you know, and that is probably the case. Embrace the feeling and use it to your advantage. Every time you have the whole idea of imposter syndrome, embrace it. Because people with imposter syndrome tend to even put in more effort, more time than others. So that makes you even much more prolific. So harness it, use it, do your homework, emphasize, try to pay attention to detail, but don't be obsessed and don't become a perfectionist, because nobody is perfect. And at the end of the day, always remember, you are better than you think you are. You are truly better than you think you are. So never undermine yourself.